is up everybody, welcome to my YouTube channel. My name is Danny and today I'll be guiding you through what to do in quarantine so you don't get bored. Now, I know there are a lot of videos out there about this, but I figured out I could get a nice compilation of everything you can do. And obviously it depends on your case, if you are alone at home, if you've got people with you, if you like to sit around, or if you are a workaholic. So let's start with things you can do for leisure. The first one I'm going to talk about is a little bit obvious, which is watching series and movies. Now, most of us already do this on our daily life, or at least when we've got free time, but think that you've got lots of free time now. Today I'm going to mention one app that I put up all of these recommendations in there. So before I did this video, I did a very good collection on things to do during this quarantine so that I could link that up to this video and you could go there and check it out. So you don't always have to go to the video. And also it would be very time consuming if I would be telling you every single series that I recommend. Another thing that you can do to spend your time is playing board games. If you live with housemates or you live with your family, then this will be a very good way to spend your time. Just make sure you don't fight with each other. So there's plenty of board games that you can play. Some of them, or the most popular ones I would say, would be Monopoly, Domino, Clue, Battleship, Trivial Pursuit, Twister, Connect 4, Snakes and Ladders, Pictionary, Charades, Chess, Drafts, Monopoly, Mikado, Guess Who? So yeah, there's plenty of board games that you can play. I'm sure you should have at least one or two at home. Go and look for them, probably you haven't used them in years, this is the time to use them. We spoke about table games, but what about video games? As you know, most of us have a computer and a mobile phone, I guess all of us. So just on that you can download games and apps on the case of your phone, and you can have fun playing video games already. So in case you have an Xbox or a PlayStation or really any other thing, you can easily spend time playing video games. My favorite has to be The Sims, but there is so much that you can do actually, and I used to be a quite video game freak, so I'm gonna leave some recommendations of quite old ones but very good ones. Now, the other recommendation that I have for you is kind of a bit obvious, maybe. TikTok is now one of the most popular apps in the market. Everybody's talking about it, and probably you have this attitude like,
I don't like TikTok, it's just a new trend.
But if you think about it, Instagram was a new trend a few years ago, and actually now everybody has it. So why not use TikTok during this time? Let me just tell you a few things about TikTok. One, it's extremely addictive. So you can find yourself just scrolling endlessly without even realizing it. One of the reasons why I mentioned TikTok is because it's very entertaining, and not only you can watch other people doing crazy stuff or dances really, but you can also join one of the challenges. All you have to do is scroll through your main page. I'm sure you're going to see one that you like, and if you click in the music at the bottom, you will see other people that did exactly the same challenges. Some of them do exactly the same, some try to spicy things up and change a little bit. So all you have to do is doing either your version of the challenge or do exactly the same. And it's pretty easy to shoot a video and then just upload it onto TikTok, and I'm sure you're gonna laugh lots while you do the video, so why not? Have fun during this time. Another thing you can do is to dance. If you live with other people and they enjoy dancing as much as you, then it's going to be easier because you just can get together and learn a new type of dance or a routine. One of the options that you've got is playing Just Dance. If you don't have the Just Dance game, it's totally fine. You can easily find the routines on YouTube. Other things that you can do dance related will be watching YouTube videos on a specific routine that you want to learn, or if you want, you can also learn a new type of dance such as hip-hop, salsa, samba, funk, twerk, breakdance, belly dance. There is a lot that you can learn out there, and if you always wanted to try a new type of dance or you don't really quite know how to do a certain step, then why not to start trying now? Our next thing to do at home during quarantine is throwing a party. If you are a party person, then you can do a party with your housemates, or like a karaoke or a pajama party, or anything that you really like to do and you rarely do, or maybe you do a lot. Anything that you really like to do that makes you happy, it makes you feel like you're still partying and you're still having your normal life, then this is the time to do that. If you like to camp, why not camping in your garden? And if you don't really have a garden and you really want to be creative, you can camp in your living room. It's really up to your imagination, and if you have kids, I'm sure they will love that. If you enjoy reading, then this is the time to do it. Pick up a new book. I'm sure you've got plenty at home, some that you read before, maybe you would like to read again, and some that you bought thinking that you would read them, but you really didn't. If you don't like to read books, then you can read magazines as well. Plenty of magazines are now online too, so if you have the habit to go and buy them from the shops, instead of doing that, now you can have access to them online too. Another thing to spend your time is coloring books. I know coloring books sounds for kids, but as we all know nowadays, there are these coloring books that are quite challenging, and you might spend hours and hours just trying to paint one page. The next thing that I can recommend you to do during this time is to write. Obviously, I know not everybody likes to write, but some of us have been like postponing the day that we want to start writing a book, or just writing a diary, starting a blog, whatever that is. You can write about what is going on at the moment, like your quarantine diary, or simply start writing about a subject that you always wanted to start writing but you just didn't have the time. So this is a perfect time to start writing. The next thing to do is to sing. Of course, not everybody likes to sing and not everybody is a good singer, but that doesn't really matter. Do a karaoke with some friends, as I mentioned before, or just sing on your own. It's up to you. Crafting. I know that not all of us like crafting, but if you do, why not start a new project? For example, on my case, I love the idea of doing a bullet journal or a travel journal, even a photo album if you've never done one, or if you want to start now your family photo album. This is the time to go over your old pictures, choose the ones that you want, print them, and start doing that book. Another thing you can do is getting a tan. If you are working from home and if you got a garden, you can work in the garden. So really enjoy that sunshine and get a tan. No, you didn't go to the beach. No, you didn't go to the ocean, but well, at least you look tan. Guys, this is the time to learn a new skill. Have you thought that you want to be better at roller skating and you have your roller skaters at home? Then why not? I know you're indoors or you might have a garden, but grab your roller skaters, place them on your feet, use them at home, but you'll get better at it. Make sure you've got plenty of space in your room, you don't want to bump into anything, but essentially what I want to say is find a new skill that you want to learn and stick to it. You can learn how to paint, you can learn how to draw, you can learn how to take pictures at home. It's actually pretty easy when you're at home because you can try different things out and you've got lots of time to play around with the settings. You can learn how to play a new musical instrument. You can learn how to do hairstyles if you are useless like me and you don't really know and you keep asking your friends to do those braids for you. Have you ever wanted to try big boxing or juggling or even acrobats? Even try acrobats with friends. That is a lot of fun. Take a digital course. There is so much out there to learn from. Go online. There's lots of courses that you can take, and even though yes, you do have to pay for them, it's going to be worth it. Sometimes we want to level up our education or just our CV, but we don't have time to do courses while we work or while we study. So this is a perfect time to just spend a little money on a course, but you're going to be getting that money back in terms of experience, in terms of how good you will become at it, and remember that later on you won't have time for it, but the knowledge will be there. Learn a new software program. A program to edit videos or a program to edit photography, that's my field. Or like if you're a designer, a new program that you heard about that would be better. And it just takes so much time to learn how exactly to use these new programs because you just don't really know them. You've got plenty of time to watch tutorials on YouTube and learn exactly how to do this. The next one, something that you keep saying that you're gonna do for ages and you never do. Learning a new language. Now, learning a new language can be so helpful to you. You can actually get a job because you know how to speak that language. Or you can, go by when you travel to a country that doesn't really speak much English and you wanna at least be able to tell, how can I get there? Where is the restroom? So there is no better way, in my opinion, than using Duolingo or really taking courses online. There's a lot of YouTube videos and other websites that you can check that teach you how to write or learn the basics of a certain language. And if you are already kind of good at it, like for example English, most of us know a little bit, then make sure you watch series in that language. It helps loads if you have subtitles in that specific language. Self-care. Self-care is one of the things that I really need to reinforce during quarantine. I know we're at home, we don't really feel like getting up, putting makeup and putting your clothes on really. You can spend your whole day in robe. I do that quite often actually. But If you really want to face your day with a happy face and thinking this is another day and I'm not going to be lazy and stay in the bed whole day, if you put your clothes on and you don't spend your whole day with robe, you're going to feel so much different. And this is something that you really have to consider. The next thing that you guys should really do while you are at home, everybody has been talking about it really, and I'm suspicious because it's my work field, but you should exercise. Most of our excuses are actually lack of time. Related to lack of time is working too much and not having enough sleep and not eating properly. And now that you're at home, you can have more sleep, you can eat better, and you're definitely gonna have time. So this is the time to avoid all of the excuses and start exercising. Not only that, but remember that with exercise comes a healthy immunity system, and that is exactly what you need in a time like this. I've been developing some exercise videos that you can do at home if you are a beginner, intermediate, and advanced. I'll be releasing them every single week, and they will be amazing if you want to exercise at home and you don't have any equipment. Think that if you get the habit now of exercising and you really stick to a schedule, it helps a lot if you write down on your calendar, this is the time that I want to exercise, so then you will have no excuses. And if you have that habit, you will leave quarantine and you will continue to exercise. I guarantee you that, as long as you stick to it. Related to exercise, it's healthy eating. This is a time to learn how to cook healthy. Some of us don't even know how to cook or boil an egg or do rice, whatever that is. This is a time to start practicing your cooking skills. You are at home, you need to eat. Some of our favorite restaurants are closed, and even takeaways are being closed as well. So you have to do something so you can eat. Eating healthy, it's hard for some people because they simply don't know where to start. So this is a time for you to do your research, find out what you really like. And if you start cooking healthy now, it's going to be easier for you to keep on cooking healthier later on. I'm also doing some healthy eating videos on my fitness channel, so if you want, have a look at it. I'm going to be releasing one recipe every week on Tuesdays at 1 p.m. In terms of self-care, there's also something else that you can do, and actually most of us really need to do that, which is stretching. Stretch your body. Try to get into that split if you always wanted to. See if you can get a better range of movement. See if you can do the bridge, the tree, any yoga position that really interests you and you find quite challenging. You can also do foam rolling and ball rolling if your muscles are tight and you really need that. Get your housemates to do a massage for you. Meditate. A lot of people have been talking about meditation and how much it helps you, and honestly, it is very good to help your brain stop for a second. We are surrounded by notifications, lights on our phone and our desktop, television, sounds. We are constantly stimulated and we need to stop for a little while sometimes. So meditation is really good, and you can include that on your to-do list during quarantine. In terms of self-care, there's much more that comes to it. I spoke about exercise, healthy eating, but also taking long baths, doing a new makeup, putting mask faces on for ladies, doing your nails, well, for men who like to do their nails as well. Anything that makes you feel beautiful and ready for a new day, that's going to be really important for you. Another thing you can do during quarantine is to sleep, and I truly hope that we are all getting tons of it. Most of the time we will be sleeping between 5 to 8 hours. A lot of people, especially in London, are sleeping 6 to 7, and that is simply not enough. So take this time to charge your batteries, so when you go back to your normal life, you can also get used to sleep a little bit more, and hopefully you'll make that into a habit. Sometimes we are so busy in our lives that we don't really spend time with those that we love. Either if that's family, friends, pets, your kids. During this time, you've got two options. If you live with those you care the most, then really use this time to spend more time with them. If you don't live with those people that you love, or if you are alone, then all you have to do is spending time on the phone or on the computer. Use Skype, use WhatsApp, use Messenger, talk to them, send voice messages, do challenges together. There's other apps like House Party where you can actually do games with your friends while you are on a video call. So you've got plenty of options, just choose what you guys like to do and spend time together. On the topic of relationships, why don't you call that old friend that you haven't talked with for years? Sometimes the years just go by and we don't notice that we haven't really texted each other for a long time. It can even be those school friends that you really liked and you kind of miss them as well. If you don't know how to not be productive even during this time, then I've got some tips for you. If you are a traveler, then this is the perfect time to go over your bucket list. Choose the ones that you want to travel to next, and if you want, use this time to carefully go over all of the things that you want to visit in that specific place and prepare your next travels. Preparing a trip can be very time consuming, and I know that from experience. So if you really want to use the free time now to do that, it's going to be easier on the New Year's trips. You just have to book your flight and then you know more or less what you want to visit and how many days you need in that country. If you are not a traveler, on the other hand, there's also things that you can do. One of them is starting to establish now a specific routine and work on what you want to change after quarantine. Cleaning your house. I know cleaning can be boring, but that is something that we need to do as well. And if you are really bored, then cleaning can be a good idea. Included in cleaning can be changing the layout of your rooms, for example, or just really tidying up your house in a way that you feel comfortable in it. If you are working from home or you're spending a lot of time at home, then it's important to look around and like what you see. It's confusing to work in an office that is pretty much messy if you think about it. So your workspace has to be clean. If you spend time at home, then your house should be clean as well. It makes you feel happier, it makes you feel more comfortable in the environment that you are in, and it's going to be easier for you and your family to just spend a nice time in a tidy up space. This is going to be a bit generic, but it's going to hit you. What is the thing that you genuinely want to do? You really want to learn something, or you really want to be able to do something, or you really want to spend time doing that thing, but you just don't have time. That was back then. Now you do have the time, so grab that thing that has been on your to-do list for too long and please start doing that. Another thing you can do during quarantine is improving your work. And yes, I know it might sound weird, but actually there is always something in your job and in your business that you can improve, but you simply don't have the time for that because you have too much on your plate. It can be managing your clients, managing your staff, responding to emails, and I'm sure there is something that most of us can be better at. Make a list of the things that you think you should improve and decide which ones should be first. Those were some ideas of what exactly you can do while you stay at home to make sure you get yourself busy and you don't get bored and disorientated during this time, because it is easy to feel disorientated. Now, some pro tips before you go. What exactly can you do to make this time easier for you? Tip number 1, have a routine and a schedule. Make sure you wake up always at the same time, you go to sleep at the same time, have your meals more or less at the same time if you can. And if possible, write down what you want to do on each day. If you spend a whole week at home, it can feel like Monday is no different from Friday or even Sunday. So if you have a schedule and you feel like a week has different days where you do different things, it's going to be easier for you to see the week go and also stay motivated, because Monday is day of, I don't know, writing, and Friday is video game day, who knows. You can either do every day with the same type of schedule where at 9 a.m. you eat, at 10 a.m. you do laundry, at 11 a.m. you prepare lunch, you know, whatever. Or you can then have different days where you have different tasks. Feel free to use a physical agenda or an online calendar to help you out with these tasks. The bonus point about having an online calendar is that actually you get notified whenever you have to do a new task. If you do like an event on your calendar that repeats every single Tuesday at 9 a.m., you'll get every Tuesday at 8:50 a.m. a notification saying that a new event is starting at 9. This is on Google Calendar. And if you do that, then you'll always get notified when you have to do a new task. That helps you to stay on track of your time and also make sure that you don't get lost in your endless day. My second tip is to make sure that you stay connected with people near you. I mean, especially if you are alone at home, then you want to talk to people. If you think about it, if you work in an office, you're used to see people around you every day, and now suddenly being stuck at home with no one, it can feel really lonely and very depressing. So you do want to make sure that you text people, that you call people, that you spend online time with them, really, because otherwise it's going to be tough for you to spend this time. Another tip I already mentioned before, you have to tidy up the area where you work or spend time at. If your room is messy, it's going to feel depressive, really. The fourth thing to consider is enjoy the sunshine. I know not always we have sunshine, but when we do, make sure you enjoy it. Stay by the window or go to the balcony if you have a balcony. If you have a garden, then amazing. Lay down a little bit in the garden. Do your reading in the garden if you can. Make sure you spend time outdoors, even if you can't stay outside at home. The fifth tip is something that I've been talking a lot in this video actually, and is to use this time for self-development and self-growth. Now, during this time, you can do the online courses that I mentioned to you, or read or write. Use this time to be better at things that you know you have to improve. The tip number 6 is something that I've been talking as well during this video, and is basically staying active. Staying active doesn't necessarily mean only exercising, but means doing something that you like and moving. So don't spend your whole day in your sofa or in a chair or in your bed, really. Move around your house. If you've got stairs, go up and down the stairs quite often. If you don't want to do like body weight exercises, then do a little bit of yoga. Stretch your body. The tip number 7 is using this time to work on your side business. A lot of us have thought about starting a certain type of job that could give us some side money while we keep our main job, but it's difficult to do that while you spend so many hours in your main job, and it's very time consuming to have only one job. Imagine 2. So if you find yourself now jobless, this is the time to invest on that side job that you always wanted to start. That can be an online course, it can be getting paid for writing, getting paid for doing videos, getting paid to talk on a podcast. There's always a lot of options. And another thing is listening to music. This is a no-brainer because we generally spend time listening to music anyways. Stay up to date of your favorite bands and your favorite singers, and I'm sure that's gonna make you feel happier. And the last tip is mindset. I cannot reinforce this enough. Truly, if you are a positive person, your days are going to be happier. If you are a negative person, your days are going to be boring, and you're going to find yourself really sad every single time because your days are always the same. I know this is a difficult time, but think that everybody's in the same situation. It could have been a lot worse. You could have a member of your family dying from it, or it could be like a war where we actually would need to leave our houses and go for a really tough time. And if you think about it, all you have to do is staying at home. It's not that hard. There is a lot that you can do. So be grateful, be positive. If you want, write every single day one thing that you are grateful for, and that's going to help you tremendously to go through all of these hard times. Be grateful because you have a house, because you have food to eat, because there's sunshine, because it's not the end of the world, even though it looks like it. Maybe you live with your family and it's good to spend time with them, because you have those friends who keep checking on you and calling you every day to see if you're good. There is so much that we have to be grateful for. So if you can, use that time to stop a little bit and think, what exactly are you grateful for today? And that was it for this long video. I hope it gives you guys some ideas of what exactly you can do while you stay stuck at home, and how you can spend those days without getting bored. Remember that mindset is everything, so put the mindset first, get that ass off your sofa and start doing something that will be productive for you and make you feel happy during this time. I hope this video, non-travel related, was useful for you guys. If you wanted to see things to do work related during corona times, then please let me know as well. Leave a like and a comment and all of that stuff that you already know, and I'll see you guys on the next video. Have you thought that you want to be better at ice skating? Yeah, you can't do ice skating. Now learning a new language, bloody hell. Now learning a So don't spend your whole day in your home. Like, yes, you spend your whole day in your home.